Christmas has come early this year at Bang Olufsen of Glasgow and Bolo store with the arrival of Beolab 8. There's 5 key reasons why this fantastic little speaker should be on your wish list this Christmas. So let's dive in. Hi, this is Robert
And this is David.
and we make up the sales team here at Bolo store and Bang Olufsen of Glasgow. So let's have a look at reason 1 the Beolab 8 is such a wonderful speaker. We're going to discuss with Robert the craftsmanship, the materials, processes and the painstaking hours that Bang Olufsen put in to making one of these little guys. So can you tell us a wee bit about first the actual materials, Robert?
Yep, absolutely. So as we've come to know with Bang Olufsen in a lot of the products, it's some of the highest quality aluminium that we can get. We have the plain aluminium here, but it does also come in 2 other finishes as standard, the gold and black anthracite. As well as that, you'll see on the front we've got the hand cut oak cover. It does come in 3 other finishes as well, a dark oak, a light oak and a grey fabric cover.
And they're all from our partner at Bang Nielsen in Denmark, who are a long and trusted partner of B&O. We're not sure about the enunciation of that, but we'll give it a go with a Scots accent.
As well as that, which you probably can't see in the video, there's also a beautifully hand-cut piece of glass that fits in the top, which has all of its controls, play, pause and volume controls.
Excellent. And obviously we're renowned for our aluminium processing, as you say, and there's one particular detail on this product that we want to tell you a little bit more about. Truly should be appreciated in person, but Robert will do his best to represent it for you just now.
So at the front there's an illuminated Bang Olufsen logo. The aluminium is milled down to 0.33 millimetres, and inside that they mill over 4,000 individual holes, which are about 40 to 50 microns, which is about the size of a human hair.
It really pays to have notes, folks, because it's 4,666 holes to be precise, but do come in and inspect them for yourself. Excellent. So I think that probably sums up the craftsmanship topic. We're going to move on to number 2 now, which is functionality. So the functionality of Beolab 8 is based wholly around our latest chipset known as Mozart. So Robert, can you tell us a little bit about Mozart and what it's brought to the table?
So Mozart has been in the Beosound product since Beosound Balance came out a few years ago. It's probably our most innovative chipset since maybe Masterlink in the 80s. It's a way that the products speak to each other. They can wireless stereo pair through the Mozart platform, as well as talking to the televisions like Beosound Theatre.
Okay. And what do you mean by wirelessly stereo pair for those that aren't educated in that term?
So if you imagine a kind of more traditional hi-fi with your 2 speakers, traditionally a lot of cabling as well, whereas this, if you get 2 Beolab 8s, all you would really need is the 1 power cable going to each speaker, and you've got a true hi-fi stereo. With Mozart, it allows us to stream high resolution from Tidal Connect as well, so it does stream as a true hi-fi stereo system.
Okay. And how does that then expand into what you mentioned as surround sound?
So as we mentioned with surround sound, it can be added to any of our televisions to upgrade your home cinema system. If you've maybe not got the space for another bigger pair of speakers, we can pop these behind the sofa on a unit, just to add a little bit more depth to your films.
Okay, excellent. And as you'll know, if you've been with Bang Olufsen for a long time, they very much have an ethos to look after their customers' investment. So can you tell us a wee bit about the connectivity on the back of the Beolab 8?
Yeah. So the way that they can connect to the TVs is through PowerLink, but that also works with the older generation of CD players and the Beogram record players, as well as the cassette decks and radios. So we can fully incorporate those older systems together with the brand new technology.
Excellent, okay. And am I limited with the device that I can use with the Beolab 8?
Absolutely not, no. As long as it's got network capability, we can stream to it, whether that's an iPad like you've got there, iPhones, Samsung, Android devices, no, we can all connect to the Beolab 8.
Fantastic, well, it sounds like an all-encompassing product. So we'll now move on to the 3rd topic, which is flexibility of placement. So flexibility of placement has always been a really powerful feature of the Bang & Olufsen range. When it comes to us designing systems to suit your home, This sort of flexibility is what we need to make sure the product performs at its best. So Robert's going to tell us a little bit about why the Beolab 8 is no exception to this rule.
So Beolab 8 is the most flexible Beolab speaker that we've got at the moment in the range, with 4 placement options. As in front of us we've got the table stand, there's also a floor stand which can be cut to height depending on its use. There's also a wall bracket and in fact a ceiling bracket coming as well for Beolab 8. So it's totally flexible regardless of how you need to use it in the home.
Okay, fantastic. And what height does the floor stand start at?
So it starts, if you've got it mounted flat, at 114 centimetres to the ground, or like this, if it's tilted, 118. But can be cut down if you're maybe using it at the front of the room and want to keep it in line with the centre of the screen.
And do you need special tools to do that?
Absolutely not. Our install teams will get that sorted for you, so you do not need to worry about any special tooling at all.
Fantastic. And the table stand we see here looks as though it's pointing upwards, but in my room I wouldn't need that.
No. So there's 2 options for this. There's a very clever little bracket at the back of this which can be orientated in 2 ways.
Okay.
Either angled up like this if it was maybe on a lower bit of furniture, or you could have it tilted flat if it was closer to ear level in the house.
Okay, excellent. And what is the importance of these angles? It seems to be a feature throughout each model of stand.
Basically, it's just to keep the tweeter and all the other speaker drivers as close to ear level as possible. You don't want them firing too low or too high. Alternatively, you want it at that perfect listening level.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much, Robert. So we'll move on to the next topic, which is point 4, and that is sustainability and circularity. So let's now have a look at the sustainability and circularity objective that Bang Olufsen set out when they launched the Mozart platform a few years ago. The cousin of the Beolab 8 is BioSound Level, and that was the first consumer product to achieve an award known as Cradle to Cradle. So Robert, what can you tell us about Cradle to Cradle and what does it take to get an electronics product into that bracket?
So Cradle to Cradle as a certification looks at a number of things, from the materials that are used to go into the product, to looking at how the product's serviced and possibly upgradable over its lifetime to ensure that it is used for a long number of years and isn't just thrown away after 1 or 2 as technologies start to change. The first instance of that is the Mozart chip is located in the back of the speaker, which you can quite easily get to, so it means as streaming technology changes over the coming years, as these things do, instead of having to totally upgrade and replace the product, we can actually just change the little chipset to allow you more years to enjoy your Beolab 8s.
Okay, excellent. And can you tell us a little bit about the idea that we can evolve our Beolab 8 to suit our interiors at home?
That's it. As things change, may redecorate the living room where your beautiful home cinema system is. Say you start with the natural aluminium, we can really easily remove all the parts from the outer chassis, the top ring and the cover with one simple tool that's included in the box, and change it to whatever colour. Say you maybe wanted to change to the gold or maybe even the black anthracite. That can be really easily done, again, to save having to totally replace the whole system, which unfortunately will do us salespeople out of a job.
Yeah, fantastic. You're absolutely right. I'm not sure what it says about our future, but hopefully they keep bringing out new products to suit other people. So that is the sustainability factor. We're now going to move on to our last topic, which is arguably one of the most important, and that is the sound performance of Beolab 8. So let's have a look at the sound in more detail and understand a wee bit more about why the Beolab 8 is such an exceptional offering. So Robert, we know from looking here that there is 3 speakers in the Beolab 8. I think you alluded to that earlier on. Can you tell us a wee bit more about them and their arrangement, please?
Yep, absolutely. So as you can see, we do have the 3 individual drivers. We've got the tweeter here, the mid-range driver at the top, and you may not actually be able to see the woofer down at the bottom here behind this baffle cover. The tweeter and the woofer were both designed specifically for this speaker, whereas the mid-range driver is actually the same as is in the Beolab 28, which offers a nice kind of synchronicity between the system if you use Beolab 8 with 28 as well. The reason that they've hidden away the woofer down at the bottom behind this baffle is to protect a lot of the more delicate frequencies that come from the tweeter, so we don't disrupt those and you get a much cleaner sound throughout the whole range of frequencies.
Okay, excellent. And the bass driver in the speaker is powered by a 200 watt amplifier.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a wee bit about the things that brings, and also the things that we've built into this speaker to prevent it maybe being a little bit too much for a small room?
Absolutely. Yep. So when this speaker's first set up, it does the same as a lot of our other speakers. It's got microphones built in that listen to a frequency sweep that allows it to EQ itself, so it's set up perfectly for your room, so there's not too much bass or too much high end as well. But when you pair that then with the Bang Olufsen televisions, be that the theatre, there's a setup microphone as well, which helps to EQ the system as a whole, so you're not going to shake the room apart with too much bass from any one place.
Fantastic. And that particular feature is adaptive bass linearization, which we've had in our speakers for many decades, but Bang & Olufsen know the benefits of it and have evolved it even more to relate to a modern system. So they've still got a belief in that particular feature. There's lots of technology in here, as we've spoke about, Robert, but there's also some features that are still to come. Can you tell us a little bit about Fluid Sweet Spot, please?
Yeah. So Fluid Sweet Spot, which is due to arrive, I believe, at the start of 2024, is if you've got a pair of these set up as a kind of stereo hi-fi system, we know that you're not always going to be sitting in that ideal middle sweet spot for listening. So what the speakers do is they take a measurement from your phone between the speakers, and it EQs the speakers perfectly for where you're sitting at the moment, and that can change over time depending if you move around the room. So it just makes sure that it's the perfect setup for where you are in the room.
Excellent. So every little detail counts. The final one, just on that we want to finish, is the covers that obviously have two, arguably three different looks.
Yeah.
What have we did to compensate for this?
Yep. So built into the software there's 4 filters depending on which cover you've got on. There's a filter for no cover as we've got it just now, there's a different filter for the wood cover and also for the fabric cover, but there's a 4th one available if Bang & Olufsen release another cover down the line, which we're not sure what that could be.
Absolutely no idea. There is a material that they seem to love, but we'll leave that open to your guess. So that, in summary, is the Beolab 8 by Bang & Olufsen. We are absolutely blown away by it, and we would love to invite you all in to experience it for yourself. If you're struggling, please do give us a call. We often offer home demos as a way to let you hear it in your own space. It's the best way to experience it and understand what makes this product so special. So we hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon. See you next time.